Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm going to walk you through our main profiling or baseline metrics testing for our baseball athletes or rotational athletes to be able to increase overall their rotational force. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so one of the main things that we want to test when it comes to rotational athletes is essentially how much force they can produce rotationally. And one of those big things that we want to focus on is breaking down the sequence of movements that are going to increase an athlete's ability to create rotational force. So with baseball athletes specifically, we do a series of med ball tests that we actually measure the distance in which they could throw a med ball. And from there, what we're trying to do between the beginning of the off season, we get those numbers, and then at the end, we obviously try to increase them. The big thing that we want to focus on here is realizing that as a hitter, the force starts from the ground into the hips and then from the trunk. So we want to actually train phase by phase that same way. So for me as a coach, what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to capture those metrics through each of them. So the first one that we're going to really focus on is purely the trunk. So I have the athletes in a seated position, so we really isolate and eliminate the hips and the lower body. And I have them basically be able to perform a shot toss just utilizing their trunk, right? The rotation in the trunk. Now, when you see me down the line, when we're actually training this, you're gonna see that this becomes the training. So first and foremost, I wanna get the numbers from the trunk. Next, I wanna get the athlete moving to a half kneeling position. Now from this half kneeling position, we're able to incorporate the core or the hips, right? While still eliminating the force from the ground, because the force is generated from the ground when you're swinging a bat. So next, we wanna get them in a half kneeling position, perform the same toss where it's a shot toss. So now I've got the trunk and the hips connected. Then finally, what we want to do is we want to perform that same shot toss test, but from the ground. So they're actually standing up so they can generate energy from the ground, force through that foot into the hip and then through the trunk. And that's the sequence of movements where we want to break those down. Now, what I like to look for is a discrepancy within those, right? If any of the athletes need to focus on more of the trunk or the hip or the ground, we can go ahead and adjust in our programming to make sure that we're doing that. The biggest thing I want you guys to take away, if you're a rotational athlete, you need to be segmenting each portion down that kinematic sequence to see what it is that athlete needs to improve upon so that when you integrate that back into their swing, they're gonna have more of that power, right? And these tests allow me to also test the range of motion within them as well. Just kind of wanted to go over some of the main things. This is a reason why with my baseball athletes, I focus on two metrics, really. I mean, we do all the speed, we do the change of direction, we do a lot of those things. But if I were to count out two, basically, it's gonna be the med ball shot toss from those three, basically, positions, and it's gonna be their vertical jump. Because I know that if I can increase their vertical force, they're gonna be able to generate more from the ground when they go to hit, and that's gonna transfer over to their speed and other change of direction. So med ball throws, vertical jump, and you can build a great ball player. I hope that helps, guys. Just wanted to kind of talk you through why I'm doing what I'm doing with these guys and how we've been able to see great increase in their strength and overall exit velocities here at our gym. If you're interested in a full baseball program that incorporates all this, go ahead and check out the link down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.